What is the creepiest display of intelligence you've seen? Was at a party and had a sudden mid-conversation realization that we were all standing uncomfortably close to each other. My buddy's border collie had slowly herded us all to the center of the room. Imagine realizing you've been quietly manipulated by a dog the entire time. That's both hilarious and slightly unsettling at the same time. Did we domesticate dogs, or did wolves train us to feed them? I knew someone who predicted the entire course of a conversation between several people in a group down to the sequence of how these people would leave and their excuses to leave. She only met them a few times and could deduce how they would behave. Back in the day, she would have been burned at the stake, I guess. I heard of an octopus who would break out of its tank at night and eat the crabs in a neighboring tank. The aquarium staff didn't understand how the crabs kept getting eaten until they watched CCTV and saw what the octopus was doing. Creepy thing is, the octopus knew to replace the lids and return to its own tank. That must mean it understood the need for deception. It had also memorized the guard's patrol schedule, so it knew how long it had to accomplish the hunt. My parents' dog learned to open and close their doors. They have doors with door handles, not knobs, and he very quickly learned he could get on his hind legs and reach them. He didn't just yank it down. He put one paw on the door frame and the other pushing the handle down and pull back to open. He understood he would have to pull it from the inside to open it and push it from the outside. He also rang the doorbell on multiple occasions to be let inside if he was out too long. I didn't realize how smart he was until I understood he was communicating through eye contact. I remember sitting on the couch and looking him dead in the eyes while he was sitting on his dog bed, and then I looked into the garage door. He huffed and then got up, walked to the garage door, and then looked at me like, "Hey, what do you want?" Only then I realized how damn smart he was, and I felt bad for just treating him like a dim animal. That whole time, Mom yelled at you for getting into the garbage, so you slammed the door on. Her face will always be a classic. Rip Gus. One day, my wife really had to use the bathroom. But after going in for a second, she came out looking befuddled and said, "Well, I guess I can't use that bathroom because the cat is using it." Cat had taught himself to use the human toilet. To this day, we have no idea how. I knew a couple who trained their cat to use the toilet, including flushing, and then had to get a different style of toilet because the cat liked to watch the swirling water and would keep flushing over and over again. Seeing a crow solve a puzzle box in seconds after watching it once gave me chills. It felt like it was actually thinking things through. Stuff like that makes you realize some animals are way smarter than we usually give them credit for. A kid memorizing entire conversations and repeating them word for word weeks later, like a recording, was oddly creepy. My dad's German shepherd figured out how to open the fridge, take out one slice of ham, and close it again. We only caught him because my dad set up a camera thinking my brother was sneaking food at night. The dog looked directly at the camera once and never did it again while we were home. So, a few years ago, I'm working on an old tractor I got for free from a neighbor when a buddy of mine, his wife and 10-year-old son come over for a visit. We're talking as I'm working on this machine and his son wants to help. I don't mind at all because I really don't care about this machine. As I said, it was free and was just a keep busy kind of project. I figured I'd teach him safety things like fuel and spinning parts and so on. Now this machine had a weird issue in that it wouldn't keep running, no matter what I did. I'm a small engine mechanic, so this is my job, and I'm pretty good at it. I knew it was fuel, but after cleaning the tank, changing the lines, fuel filter, and cleaning the carb, I still couldn't get proper gas flow. It was a bit of a head scratcher. This kid is helping me, so I explained how the fuel system works to him, not really expecting him to absorb any of it. Anyway, my buddy and I decided we were going to step out for a bit, leaving his wife and son with my wife. The boy asks if he can keep messing with the machine, and his mother says no, as she doesn't want him to break it. I tell her that I honestly don't care and to let him have a go at it if he wants. She agrees, and we leave. She, of course, is supervising him to ensure he doesn't end up hurting himself, but I tell her there are no blades on it, and it's pretty much dead, so there's nothing he could really do. We come back after a few hours, and wouldn't you believe it? We see this kid riding around on this old beat-up lawn tractor as his mother looks on smiling. I ask her if she did something, to which she says, "Nope, when you told him he could do whatever he wants. He just started taking it apart, and it ran." I ask her if he's ever messed with any machines before, and she says, no, his father isn't mechanically inclined, so they don't really do that kind of stuff together. I asked the kid what he did, so he proceeds to tell me, in the most kid way ever, that no gas was getting inside, and he remembered my explanation on how the fuel system worked. So he began taking it apart, starting at the tank like I did, and figured it must have been in the carb. So he takes it apart and notices that there's a tiny screen that I didn't even know about, since very few machines have one, where the fuel line enters the carb that was clogged up. This kid literally diagnosed a fuel system for the very first time ever, mind you, found the issue that an experienced mechanic overlooked, then reassembled the machine and got it working, all while never having touched a single engine in his life. The last thing I say to his parents is, get that boy some tools ASAP. So that's it. Creepy intelligence out of a 10-year-old child. To this day, I'm still blown away by it. There was this perv that worked at 711. He had a record that used to give us cigarettes when we were like 14. Yeah, I know wasn't smart. We should have known better. And I came back a few years later, and he said, "Isn't today your birthday?" It was. A cockroach hiding behind a pop can when it saw me, then waiting a bit and peeking out from behind the can to see if I was still there. My 5-year-old son was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old. He's pretty much nonverbal, but repeats things he has heard. One day a couple months ago, during A-Bay therapy at home, he was drawing letters or shapes, and we had no clue what it was. The therapist looked it up, and he was drawing the Greek alphabet. Then he sang it. He did it was Russian as well, and learned how to read without anyone's help. I'm awed but a bit freaked out when I find some new knowledge he somehow picked up. He's a Gestalt learner, so even drawing, he will be able to draw it almost identical to the image or video. He has seen. My dog starts barking at the door, so I open it to see what's going on. There's a border collie sitting there waiting. I go to check on the dog, and he gets up and walks a bit away, sits and stares at me. I follow him. This goes on till I'm in front of a house in my neighborhood. Collie stares at the doorbell. I ring it. No one answers. The collie stares at the door. I knock, no answer. The dog gets up and walks to the side gate and stares at me, and then up at the latch. I open the gate for the dog. The dog walks into the backyard, turns around, sits and stares at me, and then at the open gate. I close the gate and watch the dog relax. The dog used me for my thumbs and wouldn't even let me pet him. When I was a kid, I lived in the 7th floor, but my dog would roam the big public park in front of the house. We just used to let him different times, I guess. Since my apartment had 40 tenants, the door was constantly open and closing. When he wanted to get back home, he would wait by the door until someone opened it and ride with the person that opened it in the elevator, then scratch my door to get inside. People in the building just got used to him and actually punched the 7th floor for him. By the end, I ended up working as an adult really close to my family home I lived in since I was born. The area has always been occupied by magpies, which swoop at you all through summer. For those who don't know, it's terrifying. At work, there was an injured magpie that we fed and took care of for ages. When it got better enough to roam, it told all the other magpies in the area. And since then, about a decade ago, all the magpies in the area never swooped any of us who worked at the store again. And Alfred the magpie used to fly beside me when I'd ride my bike to work. And on the way back too, to make sure I was safe. So insane. Sorry for all non-Australians. This will make no sense. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos. Leave a like. See you soon.